The calendar we operate on is a lie, and why I believe the US will go to war for the 13th time. So this has taken me 5 hours to do today, and I hope it blows your mind, and I really hope you share it. So the United States of America will turn exactly 247 years old on July the 4th, 2023, because the US was founded July the 4th, 1776. 247 years old, guys. 24/7, of course, connects to time, as there's 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week. So I've said this many times before, we should be operating on a 13-month calendar, and I'll show you why. So you can see here that 247 is the 13th pentagonal number. 13 times 19 equals 247. And the modern Jewish calendar has 7 leap years containing an extra 13th month every cycle of 19 years. That's where we get the term COVID-19 from, guys. It's connected to moon cycles. So look at this. 41 is the 13th prime number. 91 is the 13th triangular number. 233 is the 13th Fibonacci number. Notice it's also the 51st prime number, and the Illuminati were founded in Bavaria, Germany on 5/1, May the 1st. It's very interesting that England beat Germany 5-1 10 days before 9/11, and they did that 9-1 2001. That game was in Bayern Munich Stadium, whose nickname is the Bavarians. So when you add up 41 plus 91 plus 233, it gets you 365. And there's 365 days in a year, guys. So April Fool's Day, celebrated on 4/1 each year, has been celebrated for several centuries by different cultures, though its exact origins remain a mystery. Some historians speculate that April Fool's Day dates back to 1582, when France, that's where the Society of Jesus were founded, switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar as called for by the Council of Trent in 1563. In the Julian calendar, as in the Hindu calendar, the new year began with the spring equinox around 4/1. Okay, so April Fool's Day, guys, the whole point of this is to mock us. It's about the calendar, because our calendar should begin on 4/1. So 4/1, April the 1st, is the 91st day of the year. And I've told you 41 is the 13th prime number, 91 is the 13th triangular number, and April the 1st, 4/1, guys, is the 91st day of the year. Guys, we have been fooled. The calendar that we operate on is one of the very biggest psychological operations in history. It has been designed by the Catholic Church to completely mess with our frequencies. It was Pope Gregory behind the Gregorian calendar, although I believe it was Satan. So the new year should begin in the spring when everything is coming to life, not in winter when everything is dying. April is all about bringing in the new, so it makes complete sense to be the first month of the year. I was born in April. I was born on my dad's 31st birthday, the 11th prime. I was born 14/4, and we're told 144,000 angels have been sealed by God. There's 1,440 minutes in a day, guys. April takes its name from the Latin word apere, meaning to open, just like flowers do in spring. So March is currently our 3rd month, operating on the Gregorian calendar, but it should be our 13th and final month. So it comes to no shock that false prophet Pope Francis, who I talk about all the time, became the Pope on 3/13 in 2013. Revelation 3:13, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. 313 is the 65th prime number, as you can see here. So half a year in a 13-month calendar would be 6.5 months. Pope Francis was born on Saturnalia, and Saturn is the Roman god of time. A 13-month calendar would divide the year into 4 seasons of 91 days. And I've told you 91 is the 13th triangular number. Now check this out, guys, and tell me the United States of America wasn't founded by the Illuminati. The US was founded exactly 9 weeks and 1 day after the Illuminati were founded. 9 weeks and 1 day, 91 again, the 13th triangular number. So shortly after the Illuminati were founded by Adam Weishaupt in Bavaria, Germany, the United States of America signs its Declaration of Independence. Very suspicious. What is crazy is that recently Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth died. I predicted Queen Elizabeth's death 2 years before she died, that she would go at 96. And Elizabeth was born April the 21st, 1926, exactly 1,776 days after Prince Philip, who was born 6/10/1921. Queen Elizabeth officially met Prince Philip one-on-one at the age of 13, when Prince Philip was 18. Revelation 13:18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. The solar calendar year has 13 months with 28 days each, divided into exactly 4 weeks. 13 times 28 equals 364. An extra day added as a holiday at the end of the year, after December the 28th, i.e. equal December the 31st Gregorian, sometimes called Year Day, does not belong to any week and brings the total to 365 days. Some fine examples of 13-month calendars have been demonstrated from Inca, Toltec, Aztec, Maya, and Zapotecs of the Americas, the Norse, Han China, ancient Japan, which still practices 13 zodiacs. In addition to the Celtic Druids traced their calendar back to the Chaldeans of Ur, upon whom the Babylonians and Assyrians also based theirs. The ancient Indian and Greek sources all include 13 months, 13 zodiacs, and 13 primary deities. A lunar cycle is 28 days long, so a 13-month year would be more natural. 365 divided by 28.7 equals 13. This makes so much sense to have 28 days in a month, 7 days in a week, and 4 weeks in a month, as 28 is considered to be a perfect number and is the 7th triangular number, and 7 is the 4th prime number. So again, 28 days in a month, 7 days in a week, 4 weeks in a month, and your 4 seasons. These numbers don't lie. The USA was of course founded on 7/4, July the 4th. 7 times 4 gets you 28. Let's look at this movie 28 days later. 4 weeks after a mysterious incurable virus spreads throughout the UK, a handful of survivors try to find sanctuary. Guys, according to the CDC, the second dose of Moderna should be administered 28 days after the first one. And look at this. Day 1, exposure. Day 3, infection. Day 8, epidemic. Day 15, evacuation. Day 20, devastation. 28 days later. 28 days later, and it's saying here 4 weeks after a mysterious incurable virus spreads throughout the UK. Queen Elizabeth's jubilee lasted 4 days. Philip and Elizabeth had 4 children. England's dialing code is +44. The United Kingdom is divided into 4 nations. What's crazy as well is Harry Kane, guys. Harry Kane, England's captain, was born on the 28th of July, 28/7. He was born exactly 79 years after World War I began. So it began 28/7/1914. Harry Kane was born 28/7/1993. So the FIFA 2022 World Cup lasted 28 days, which connected to coronavirus and war. And I recommend you purchase my book from me for $7 to see that. The length of the menstrual cycle varies from women to women, but the average is to have periods every 28 days, guys. This calendar is screwed up with our frequencies. February should be the 12th month of the year in a 13-year calendar, and it is the only month of the 12-month Gregorian calendar that has 28 days. How interesting. How interesting. There's 28 days between the 13th and 41st day of the year. This is just so undeniable. World War I began on 28/7, and World War II began on 9/1, September the 1st, the 13th triangular number. So there's 52 weeks in the year and 4 seasons. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. And 52 divided by 4 equals 13, not 12. Any basic mathematician knows that. It is absolutely wild, guys, that my first ever YouTube video was about the death of Kobe Bryant. Because this US superstar, Kobe, died at age 41 with his 13-year-old daughter in a helicopter crash. Kobe was drafted the 13th pick back in 1996. We know Elizabeth just died at 96. Kobe, who had a crown tattoo and was known as King Kobe. Kobe also played his last game in the NBA in 2016 on the 13th of April. Kobe so synced to the number 13. So he ended his NBA career 5-2 in NBA Finals. He won 5 and lost 2. And he retired on 4-13. And I've told you, there's 52 weeks in a year. There's 4 seasons. And there should be 13 months. Kobe is connected to time, is connected to the end times as well. Kobe and Gianna died the year coronavirus was declared a global pandemic. And the sun's corona is the outermost part of the sun's atmosphere. In the 13-month calendar, 12 months are named and ordered the same as those of the Gregorian calendar, except that the extra month is inserted between June and July and called Sol. Sol translates to sun. Situated in midsummer from the point of view of its northern hemisphere authors and including the mid-year solstice, the name of the new month was chosen in homage to the sun. It's very interesting that Prince William was born on 21/6 on summer solstice. Argentina just won the 2022 FIFA World Cup, and they of course have a sun in the center of their flag. Remember, the first ever World Cup final was played between Argentina and Uruguay also have a sun in their flag. That game finished 4-2, and the beast reigns for 42 months. And Lionel Messi just lifted his 42nd trophy after winning the 2022 FIFA World Cup. 20 plus 22 equals 42. Argentina were awarded $42 million for winning that final. So Messi guided Argentina to the 2022 FIFA World Cup, which began on a day leaving 41 days left in the year. 41 is the 13th prime. I told you Kobe died at 41 with his 13-year-old daughter. And they won this final on 12/18, which is a day leaving 13 days left in the year. Messi came into the 2022 FIFA World Cup with 91 goals for Argentina, the 13th triangular number. What's interesting is Diego Maradona played 91 games for Argentina. Messi now has 13 World Cup goals, and he came into the 2022 FIFA World Cup with 13 goals for Paris Saint-Germain. I've told you Paris is where the Jesuits were founded. It's why you had Argentina against France in the World Cup final. Pope Francis, the Argentine Jesuit Pope, the first openly Jesuit Pope. So the US has fought in 12 major wars, and their next involvement will be 13. I find it interesting that the US went to war with Great Britain in 1812, which ultimately ended in a draw, and the US drew 0-0 with England at the 2022 FIFA World Cup, where the final was played on 1812 and was won by Argentina, who were at war with the UK. I predicted the US and England would draw that game in connection to the War of 1812. So check this out, guys. I recently did a perfect code in regards to the NCAA football final between the Georgia Bulldogs and TCU. Georgia Bulldogs won this game 65-7. I said it would be a blowout in connection to 9/11, and it was. And the star player was this guy here, number 13, Stetson Fleming Bennett IV, who threw 6 touchdowns, which is interesting as 13 is the 6th prime number. It's very interesting also that TCU ended the season with 13 season wins. Very interesting indeed. They ended the season 13-2. That's when Super Bowl 56 was played. And again, we should have 13 months in the calendar. 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. And you have the Georgia Bulldogs winning the game with 65 points. This is arguably the best video I've ever done. I'm not even finished yet. And look how Georgia has the giant G. G is the 7th letter of the alphabet. And TCU ended on 7 points. We recently had the G7 summit, which is basically 77. And Boris Johnson, who was the 77th UK Prime Minister, stepped down on 7/7 on the 17-year anniversary of the London bombings. 17 is the 7th Prime. Then you have Flight 77 in connection to 9/11. Okay, 9/11/2001, Flight 77 reportedly hit the 77-foot-tall Pentagon in Washington, D.C. on the 77th Meridian West after taking off at 8:20 a.m. and crashing at 9:37 a.m., 77 minutes later. We live in a coded reality, guys. I show you every single day. Look how Georgia is sponsored by Nike as well, and Nike is the goddess of victory. So Stetson Fleming Bennett the fourth was born on 10/28/97, exactly 42 years after Bill Gates. And the beast of Revelation reigns for 42 months. Look at this. It's interesting I'm doing this video today on 112, and Bill Gates was born on 112, date numerology pure, and the Jesuits operate in 112 nations, and the word mathematics equals 112. Catholicism equals 112. Vatican City was founded the 11th of February, 112. The Basilica was struck twice by lightning on the 11th of February 2013, 112. So in Gematria, World War equals 42. War equals 42. Kobe's so connected to 42. Okay, he died in the 42nd year of his life. He played 42 minutes in his last ever NBA game. He won his first ever NBA Finals 4-2. And since his death, the last 3 NBA Finals have all finished 4-2. The World Cup final before he died, France beat Croatia 4-2. So on 15/8/1871, 33-degree Freemason Albert Pike, who died on 4/2, April the 2nd, wrote a letter to Giuseppe Mazzini revealing that the Illuminati planned for 3 world wars. We've obviously had 2 major ones, World War I, World War II. And it will begin when the majority of the world are non-believers in God. Guys, we're surrounded by atheists. Think about it. Think about your friends, your family. How many of them are atheists? Okay, so this 3rd World War is on its way and could very well be this year, or at least be triggered this year when you look into the 247 finds that I made. So Bill Gates, who's heavily connected to coronavirus, I've told you corona connects to the sun, he wants to block the sun, which makes sense as Jesus is the Son of God, and Satanists like Bill Gates of hell, want to block Jesus from us. So during this Georgia Bulldogs game, because I coded it in play, they had a 24/7 lead, guys. 24/7. Georgia Bulldogs, by the way, they were founded 119 years ago, and the Church of Satan was founded on 119 date numerology pure. 4/30/1966. You add up those 4 numbers, you get 119. 11/9 is basically 9/11. It is wild. And if we go here, you'll see the 11 satanic rules of the earth. This is Anton LaVey's 11 satanic rules of the earth. He founded the Church of Satan. And you also have the 9 satanic statements. Guys, Satan exists. So there are 13 zodiac signs, guys, and not 12. Another lie. Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer, is sometimes called the 13th or forgotten constellation of the zodiac. Ophiuchus is the horoscope for those born between November the 19th and December the 17th. December the 17th is Saturnalia and Argentine Pope Francis's birthday, who is a false prophet, who is connected to the end times. Now check this out. This is Baphomet, okay, the demonic god, connected to the serpent. Okay, the Baphomet, guys, has both male and female genitalia. It's got a goat's head. That's why Messi is known as the goat. And Brady is known as the goat. They work for Satan. Now check this out with Pope Francis. Okay, he works for the devil. The devil is the snake. All right. Kobe Bryant is synced to Revelation. There's a reason why his highest scoring game was in his 666 game, or why he had a 666 workout plan, or why he died 497 months old and 3 days, and 4,973 is the 666 prime. Well, his nickname was the Black Mamba. The Black Mamba is a species of highly venomous snake belonging to the family Alepidae. And look at him here, the Black Mamba, with the snake wrapped around him. Kobe worked for Satan. Okay, think about the snake in the Garden of Eden that tempted Adam and Eve. Look at the World Health Organization logo. It's that of a snake. They don't care about your health. So, USA and the number 13. I told you I think they're going to go to their 13th war shortly. The United States originally consisted of 13 British colonies in the mainland. The US flag has 13 stripes, 7 red stripes and 6 white stripes. Just know 7 times 6 gets you 42, and the beast reigns for 42 months. The Great Seal of the United States has 13 stars. The chest shield in front of the eagle has 13 stripes. The eagle's left talon holds 13 arrows, weapons of war, with 13 olive leaves and 13 olives on its right talon. The scroll of the national motto, E pluribus unum, that the eagle holds in its beak has 13 letters. At the back of the seal, you can see an unfinished pyramid with 13 levels. We're also told there's 13 Illuminati bloodlines, guys. That eye that you see at the top of the pyramid, that is Lucifer. So 13 and the clock. You'll see how the clock connects to 13. 12 plus 1, 13. 11 plus 2, 13. 10 plus 3, 13. 9 plus 4, 13. 8 plus 5, 13. 7 plus 6, 13. And I've told you, I'm doing this video today on 11-2. 11 plus 2, 13. Just undeniable that our whole reality is connected to number 13, which they've tried to tell us is unlucky. The majority of the world see the number 13 as being unlucky, not sacred. So 13 in the Bible, guys. The number 13 is symbolic of rebellion and lawlessness in the Bible. Nimrod, who was born 1225, not Jesus Christ, the mighty hunter, who was before the Lord, meaning he tried to take the place of God, as you can see in Genesis 10:9, was generation 13 in Ham's line. Ham was one of Noah's 3 sons who survived the flood. The dragon, also a symbol for Satan, just like the snake, is found 13 times in Revelation. Satan is behind all rebellion against God. In the Bible, number 13 is often mentioned through the appearance of Judah, who was the 13th apostle, one of his disciples and a symbol of treason. 13 represents all the governments created by men and inspired by Satan in outright rebellion against the eternal. It is Satan why so many people are now atheists. The majority of the world worship Satan without realizing it. Satan, guys, is the master of deception, the father of lies. And these governments, government means mind control, all right, create all of these laws, man-made laws, when in reality we should be living by the universal law, not by the law of man. So I'm going to end this with 186. I talk about this number so often. There's a reason why the first goal of the current Premier League season was scored by Gabriel Martinelli. who was born on the 18th of June, 1806. So the USA was founded in 1776 on the 186th day of the year. The War of 1812 began on the 18th of June, 1806. Coronavirus was declared a global pandemic exactly 18 years and 6 months after 9/11. 9/11/2001 was the biggest terrorist attack on US soil, and it took place on 9/11, which is their emergency dialing code. And what's interesting, 9/11 became the US's emergency dialing code in 1968, 33 years before 9/11/2001. And coronavirus was declared a global pandemic on 3/11, and 3 times 11 equals 33, which connects to Jesus, who died 33 AD. And look how 9/11 occurred on 41 date numerology pure, guys. The 13th prime number. Light, Jesus is the light of the world, moves at a stunning 186,000 miles per second, 186. We are living through revelation, and I will keep revealing what has been hidden from us and shine light on darkness. Much love, guys, and God wins. Please share this video. This needs to be watched by tens of thousands of people. The information here is sacred and undeniable. We've been lied to about practically everything. Now is the time to live our truth, to find out who we truly are, to stop playing along with Satan's lies. This is Satan's time, guys, to reign. He wants to destroy humanity. Okay? He wants to do that through war, bloodshed, viruses, famine, economic collapse. He wants to destroy humanity. He wants artificial intelligence, guys, to replace humanity. But the fact is, artificial intelligence doesn't have a soul like we do. Never forget, never ever forget that God is the creator and Satan is a creation. Much love, guys.